Hello, all. See how this is going. I don't think I have my setting just right here. Okay. Yeah, but don't have it set just right here. So I'll do this. Got a little bit too much glare on that. Just when I thought I had everything set right, I don't. But sometimes this camera does not work for me the way I want it to work. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. But I just got this in and I decided I wanted to get this to the table, or at least get it out in front of you as soon as possible. So thanks for stopping by, all. A lot of glare on that, a lot of reflection that's coming out of the off the camera there. But this is Alan Eagle's Nightfighter Command, designed by Alan Eagle, but looks like we've got Tony Dodds and Brett Grimond helped with the development of this, and War Diary Publications, or War Diary Magazine, reached out to me and said, hey, they know that I covered the latest from Alan Eagle, Corvette Command, and enjoyed this and did some coverage of that, and I'll put a link to that in the description down below. But they said, hey, they coming out, which I think just released yesterday, or be sent out yesterday, and I just got this in the mail today. Um, but they was interested, or asked me if I was interested in covering this, and I said, heck yes, I'm interested in covering this. Let's look at the back here and see what we have. Um, Night Fighter Command is a World War II solo narrative game in which you defend southern England against incoming Nazi bombers, based on based at Middle Walrup. Golly, I need my coffee with Kilroy. Based at Middle Walrup or West Malling RAF base, you'll be directed to fly against German bombing raids to protect various naval bases, towns, and cities. At first, you may struggle with unreliable equipment and inexperienced ground controllers, but as you gain experience, your skills will eventually the equipment at your disposal will also improve if you live that long. So there you have it. This is kind of a legacy game of sorts. I mean, you're going to be progressing as you go through missions and getting new skills and maybe upgrading your equipment as well. So very much in the spirit of a narrative game, as it says right up there. But let's get inside the box and see what we have inside here. There's a little bit of a rip in the cover here, so I thought let's use that. Hello, all of you that have stopped by or stopping by, and if you're watching this later, thanks for stopping by. It looks like it's published by Blue Panther, or sourced by Blue Panther. This looks like a Blue Panther box, and I imagine the components are going to be from Blue Panther. But this is a War Diary publication, so if I'm wrong on that, somebody will correct me. But I think Corvette Command was a Blue Panther product as well. So there's the box, typical kind of Blue Panther box there. Got some dice in here. Let's go a little bit closer here. Good chunky dice there. Got 4 of them. We got some cards here. I think these are going to be the Germans. Nice cards. I think these are the baddies that you're going to be defending England against and trying to shoot down here. So it looks like they have an invade, a spotting, and an attack. We also have some notes over here, and it looks like there's a place for bombs. Very interesting. I don't know much about this. I just saw a little bit. Oh, we got a 20-sider there too. So we got 4 6ers and a 20-sider. I don't know much about this, but the little that I did see on this, it looks like it's a little bit more streamlined than Corvette Command. Not that Corvette Command was overly complex, but there was a lot of stuff going on there. This one, I don't know if you have as much going on, but I could be wrong. There's an ad for War Diary Publications, a very excellent war magazine or wargaming magazine. Covers the industry and history as well. Very nice. And here's Corvette Command, which I've covered. And then they have Guadalcanal in 1914. And now Nightfighter Command. So here's the rule booklet. It is tops out at 19 pages right there. You got a victory and loss table at the back because this is solitaire, so you're going to be kind of measuring your score over time. So we've got introduction here, and some of this charts here look very similar. This resolution table, I think that's in Corvette Command. So this is going to be a sister game. It looks like it's carrying over some similar mechanics from Corvette Command, but we're taking to the sky as opposed to the sea here. But a lot of charts and tables in here. I can't recall if I end up marking Corvette Command down as a charty war game. I kind of classify games as solitaire games. Some solitaire games as charty war games, meaning that you're really relying upon a lot of charts. You're referring to charts, you're rolling dice, referring to charts, rolling dice, referring to charts, making some decisions in between. B-17, Queen of the Skies is like the classic example of that. But I thought Corvette there was some of that, but I don't know if I ever finally said, yeah, it's charty. This one looks like there's more charts involved. But again, it's been a while since I played Corvette Command, so I'll have to go back and look at that. But there's quite a bit of charts. In fact, we're up to tables 15 right now on the damage location. So got crew wounds. So I might be putting this under the charty war game classification. That's just my classification. That's not, it's a neutral classification. It's neither good nor bad. It's for you to take in and consider at your own risk. So 19 pages of that. The rules look pretty good. We've got some counters here, and these are the kind of the laser cut counters. Looks like here. And these are probably going to be mostly markers because of the we're doing a solitaire game, so you're going to be keeping track of your plane or your crew, and so this is a lot of markers on that. Some markers for the night sky or wind or maybe even snow there, with the moon. And you got some of your skill die here. I think skills go from 0 to 3 for different skill attributes. We'll see that when we get to the board. Sorry for the angle here. I got, for some reason, I didn't get the right setup on this. Sometimes it does this. My settings have a mind of their own. So this looks like it's more of a strategic chart. This is the middle wallop base. And you're going to be kind of, I guess, like you got 3 different paths here that you can go on to protect the coast of England. And this is not super thick, but it's not bad. It's like a typical player aid type material as far as a map is concerned. Then we're going to have another one of those on this material, but this is that resolution table. And again, I recall this being in Corvette Command. And this is kind of a unique little system how you keep track. This is how you do like skill checks and whatnot and comparing stuff and seeing what the number is. And then you've got a 20-sided die to roll on that, kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons. And you're keeping track of bearing and altitude here on this chart. Oh, we got a flip side here. Here's some of your counter manifest. So this is explaining some of those counters. Got heavy snow and light snow there. Some markers. A lot of this is markers. Here's wind speed, map markers. You've got ammo and guns jammed. And it looks like got some wounds down here, serious and what have you, spotting and evade. So a lot of markers in here. This is very much a kind of a narrative game. Then we've got the map here. This is a good thick paper. It's got a little bit of a dull finish on it for the ink. It's not glossy in that regard. If it was glossy, you probably wouldn't be able to show up on with all my glare that I have going on here. Okay, apologize for the technical difficulty on this. I've only done 2 live unboxings, and both of them have had the same issue of not getting the right angle. It's going portrait instead of landscape. I'm gonna take this out. Going handheld, baby. Here we go. So we can look at this map here. So there's that coast map again, but it's a little bit different than this one. This one you've got like 3 paths, and this right here has just 2, and they're a different path on there. That's a little bit of a strategic map going on there, it looks like. Then we've got your pilot, so you're going to be keeping track of wounds here. You've got your air operator, again, keeping track of wounds here. I think this is where you're going to have skills: attack, flying, spotting, evade, CGI controller, GCI controller, CGI, what am I talking? AI and reloads. I think these are skills there. Then you've got your plane. It's got a couple of boxes for failure. Then I imagine you have these boxes for status markers that's happening to your plane. Then you have ammo over here. So you're going to keep track of your ammo. Then you got wind speed, moon, whether you got a full moon, new moon, waning moon, clouds, and weather, like whether it's raining or snow or stuff like that. Then you got like a radar here. Then you've got a dorsal gunner, radio operator, nose gunner, bombardier navigator, and then pilot. And then you got waist gunner and ventral gunner. These might be for the Germans, to keep track of the Germans, because you're going to put the German cards right up there. Yeah, there we go. Let's put this here. So these cards are going to go right here. I think that's where they go. And you'll be keeping track of over here, I think, for the enemies. This is you, and I think this is you down here. So there you have it. Nice looking map. Dark, but then again, the name of the game is Nightfighter. So you're going to be at night. And it definitely evokes that theme, or consistent with that theme. Let's put these cards over here. So there you have it. That is what you get in a box of Nightfighter. And I think this is relatively reasonable price. I mean, war games these days are really hard to get at a decent price, especially with potential for tariffs coming. And Blue Panther produces their stuff in the U.S., so getting this at a little bit better rate maybe than some others. That already popped out there. It's popped out pretty good, but as you can see, the thickness of these are really good. Now, some people don't like the side nibs on there, but they really don't stick out that much. And you really can't clip these because these are thick and sturdy counters. Very thick and sturdy. Put that, I don't know if we can pop that back in there or not. There we go. So there's your counter mix. Then you got your rules here. And we'll do a little bit more look at this based on the, now that I can do a little bit of a bird's eye view on this. So it's explaining the game basics. You got this resolution table. That's where you're going to be doing a lot of your checks with and coming up with a number for this 20-sided die. And then we got a lot of charts here. So you got nationality table. We've got ranks table. Again, this is feeding into that whole narrative component. You're going to be moving on up through the ranks. Moon phase, weather table, depending upon the time of year, the month, and then you're going to roll, looks like 2 6-sided dice and figure out what the weather is and what the wind is here. You got a fog result, wind speed table here, cloud coverage. And there's also examples in these noted boxes in here as well. You've got takeoff. Doesn't get any more. Wonder if you got landing too. So you got takeoff. So wonder if you can you crash. You can actually die on the takeoff. Boy, that's a good way to start off the game. Die when you start off the game. Here's crash landing. Your aircraft crashes and burns, killing your crew and destroying the aircraft. That's awesome. That's a nice way to begin the game. Just roll up and start again, right? Reminds me of the old Traveler role-playing game. There's equipment failure. There's bomber damage. There's that radar. Let's see what that is. That is the approach with radar. Once the GCI has given an approximate bearing and altitude, switch to the AI radar. Okay, so that's this over here, which we saw on the board right there. We've got AI interception. We've got spotting skills and modifiers here. We've got gun jams. Again, there's a lot of charts here, but again, you're recreating all the different things that a Nightfighter would encounter. Here's your damage table, damage location, critical hit table, critical wound table, wounds location and severity. I mean, they got everything. Bomber spotting modifiers, bomber fighting damage, bomber versus fighter damage location. Got some results here. More charts or modifiers. A lot of modifiers. Landing failures. Yep, you got to land too, folks. Just because you got up doesn't mean you're going to land safely. There's a crash landing on the end there too. So you got 2 different types of crash landing. Wonder if this one is more for search and rescue too, or something like that, possibly. Or you got pilot skills, AI operator skills, immediate awards table, because why are we doing this? We're doing it for the awards. No, we're doing it for king and country. Here's your bar 2 awards table. Here's victory points, and then here's the victory and losses table. This is where you're going to be keeping track of your different results of how many points you scored, or how many victories, and how you did, and what your rank is, and stuff like that. Kind of cool. There you have it. So that is a quick run through of the rules there. Trying to get everything on the table here so you can take a look at it. Got this chart here. That's your results table. Put that over here. So a lot in this box here. As I said, I felt like Corvette Command is a little bit more complicated, but not overly complex. This one looks like it's easier, but for some reason it feels like there's more charts. I don't know if there are or not, but it feels a little bit more. Maybe that's just me. Maybe your mileage will vary. Anyway, I want to thank the good people at War Diary and War Diary Publications. Right there, it's on the map and it's on the box. Roy, thank you for getting this to me. And now I need to get to the table. And as you see from my skills, I probably will not do that live. Sorry about that. Sorry, I got the wrong angle at the very beginning, but I think it worked out okay. You got to see all the goodness here, and you got to see it as I'm seeing it. So, fresh out of the box with that new box smell. Um, anyway, uh, questions. Anybody got any questions? Anything? Anybody got any comments? One question I have is, do we really need another solitaire World War II air game? Right? As I mentioned earlier, Queen B-17, Queen of the Skies, is kind of the granddaddy, the grandmother of it all, and there's been a lot of games that have come out in this space, a lot of solitaire air games that have come out, but yet again, this one looks a little different. And if you follow my channel, kind of the banner photo is of Pearl Harbor, but from the perspective of the Japanese, and I'm all about looking at things from a different perspective. And I think, at least my initial impression is, I think it takes a different perspective on the World War II solitaire air game. This has a little bit different perspective. It's got this resolution chart with the 20-sided die that, kind of bringing that over from Corvette Command. But it definitely feels narrative. It definitely feels like you're keeping track of the tense and nature of the mission, and watching your crew and yourself and trying to get through it and trying to take out enemy aircraft because you're defending the coast. I think this presents a lot of those same features in a little bit different way. So yeah, so far I'm like, yeah, we need this. We always need new games and new perspectives. But again, I'll reserve judgment, and your mileage may vary. Anyway, that's what I have for you all today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate you very much. Thank you for sticking with the first part of the little mess up on the angles. But there's all the stuff you get in the box, and I kind of went and did a little bit of a longer run through all the tables in the game. So let me know what you think. This will be posting, and you can go back and look at it and see what's going on with Alan Eagle's Nightfighter Command from War Diary Publications. Take care, all, and have a great rest of the evening.